episode 3 of the Two Average Guys Sport Podcast, a podcast brought to you by a couple of dudes, not former athletes, no former playing experience, no former management experience, literally just two average dudes talking about sports and giving horrible hot takes at the end of this podcast. My name is Sam. This is my co-host here, Espen, and we have some exciting stuff for you today, some NBA news, MLB, NFL, a couple of other sports news, as well as a horrible hot take, our top 3 horrible hot takes coming to you at the end of the episode. So, shall we get into it?
Yeah, good to be with you here today, Sam. We've been following the situation. If we have any Texas and Louisiana people who listen to the show, obviously they just got devastated by a horrible hurricane, so we've been kind of following that. It's just terrible what happened down there, so our condolences go out to them. We'll try and lighten the mood a little bit with our horrible hot takes and whatnot, and talk a little bit of sports news. So, let's get started.
All right, perfect. So the NBA, well done by them, I have to say. Obviously, if you haven't been following what's happening, the whole Jacob Blake shooting in Wisconsin, a man was shot by police, and now he's paralyzed. And so the NBA, starting with the Milwaukee Bucks, I think on Wednesday it was, they decided to boycott their game against the Orlando Magic, and then soon to be the NBA canceled all the games. So really good job to the NBA, kind of recognizing what their teams want, what the players want. And so they canceled the rest of the games that day. But I really do admire them for, stepping up and kind of speaking up when the time is, I think we need it more than ever. So really good job by them. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, definitely. Adam Silver and the whole NBA, I give them a lot of credit. They've been definitely the top sports organization to lead this cause, and it's been such a powerful message and movement that they've showcased. I know it was like for the last few days, it's been like a really developing situation with whether or not playoffs are going to resume or not. I mean, that was a big question that was still up in the air. They voted this morning to resume the playoffs tomorrow on Saturday, August 29th. So we'll get back to basketball. I think they want to incorporate the Black Lives Matter movement more into the games and fight for what they believe in and show what their message is for Black Lives Matter movement.
Yeah, the NBA has done such a good job. I remember a couple years ago, there was a man that was killed by police. I think it was Eric Gardner, but I'm not 100% sure, in New York. And the NBA players wore "I Can't Breathe" shirts. They're speaking up on the court in the bubble, which is a whole other subject. The NBA has done such a good job with the whole bubble and the transition, but also they have the Black Lives Matter on the court. So, like I said, a really good job by them, kind of, leading the cause in a sense, almost in the terms of the sports world. Now, like we said, we had questions about the NBA season. LeBron, Lakers, Clippers, they decided to step out of the meeting. They voted against playing the rest of the playoffs in a funny joke way. I think they're afraid of losing, not actually. But NBA is going to continue. You said tomorrow night.
It should be good to get back to basketball. I think more people are going to watch now just because I think more people are passionate about Black Lives Matter, and I think it was a smart thing to resume the playoffs for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And then other NBA news, Paul George's domination game. Finally, he came out of the bubble and said that he was having mental health issues with the adjustment to the bubble, being in isolation. And then he decides to go off, rip to myself, as the Mavs are now down 3-2.
Yeah.
But, Paul George doing a great job going ahead and being the elite player that he is. So really, really good job. But hopefully the Mavs can come back.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really interesting series to see whether or not Dallas can get this comeback going. I know Luka he's very motivated to get them to the next round, but yeah, Paul George. The bubble's been tough on everybody. There's no doubt about that. It's asking a lot for them to uproot their lives for the last 2-3 months. If you go to the finals, that's how long you'll be there for. But it should be a really interesting series. Can't wait for some postseason basketball to be back.
Yeah, and on top of that, I will say this is do you think, because my thoughts are kind of weird, the last 3 days, they've had off. So they had off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, obviously because of all this. Do you think with players getting the rest, do you think someone's going to come back and score like a 60-point game or something like that?
I'm more of I think teams play better with less rest just because they can continue kind of stay in that groove. I think like if they just have one off day, they can just kind of recover a little bit, like do some light workouts and stuff like that. I think a long rest, like for example, the Celtics and the Raptors, who both swept their first round opponents, they're going to have basically a week off almost a week off until they play each other. But I mean, they're kind of on they're on like even playing ground since they both got the days off. But yeah, I would definitely say it benefits more to have less time off.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. I think just staying in a routine in a sense. Also Jamal Murray deciding to go off for 40. Has he taken the next step as a point guard? Obviously we see the tier ones. It's Steph, it's Kyrie. You could argue Westbrook's up there. And then tier 2, you get to like the John Walls, Kemba Walker. I'm trying to think who else is on that list. Not Lonzo Ball. He's way down there.
No.
But
Yeah.
has Jamal Murray gone from like tier 3 to like tier 2? Has he elevated his game enough?
I would definitely say so. Yeah, I think this Denver-Utah series has been so much fun to watch with him with Denver and Donovan Mitchell with Utah, just going back and forth with each other. And I mean, they're pretty good friends too off the court. But I think definitely Jamal Murray, he has definitely risen to the occasion, and he is definitely up there with. I think he is solidly in the tier 2 level of point guards.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think the tier 2, definitely not tier 1. Like we said, it's Steph, it's Kyrie.
You gotta have some experience in the league to get up to tier 1, and he's just starting to broadcast his name in the league. So
Also, other point guard that just came back today, Russell Westbrook. He's going to play in Game 5. I don't think he's a tier 1 point guard. I mean, I think Russell Westbrook. I only say he's not tier 1 because he's one of those players that's just like ready to go. Like he's physically given it his all, but he's not like the best 3-point shooter. He's not the best pull-up shooter. He's just like a fucking Tasmanian devil on the court in a sense. Like he just runs around. Like you think Westbrook is going to make a huge difference in the series?
yeah, I mean it's never a bad thing when you have Russell Westbrook on your team. He definitely elevates and he can give you more minutes, give you more points and whatnot. But I think when he was with Oklahoma City, I definitely thought he was a tier 1 point guard. I mean, he won an MVP there. I think Houston, it's a little bit tougher with Harden. I think Harden is the star of the team. I think they can kind of bounce off each other a little bit, but I wouldn't say it's a significant return for Houston. I don't think it's going to be like a make or break. I still think Houston gets by Oklahoma City, but I still don't think Houston can go very far with the team they have right now.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. You have 2 ball hawk players.
Yeah.
Both want the balls in their hands.
Usually doesn't work.
Yeah, seriously though. I'm gonna let you touch on the next topic. Obviously, Kenny the Jet Smith. I'm gonna let you get that one.
Yeah. So going back to what happened on Tuesday, and it was a Wednesday that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was either Tuesday or Wednesday, but yeah, when everything happened and the Bucks boycotted their game against the Magic, TNT was going to come on the air and cover the games that day, and Kenny the Jet Smith walks off. TNT said, I don't feel like I'm in the right place to cover anything today, so I'm going to stand with the players and basically not do my job. And I think it was such a powerful and courageous move by him. I give him a lot of credit. It takes a lot of guts and motivation to do that, and I think he did a really good thing.
Yeah, and then transitioning to baseball, in the Major League Baseball, what they did as well on Wednesday and Thursday, just kind of supporting, kind of following the NBA in a sense, and supporting Jacob Blake and his family and all this obviously tragic things that happened, but I think the MLB did a good job, doing what was right.
Yeah, definitely. And yesterday too, the Marlins and the Mets. So the players, they went out onto the field and they all stood in like solidarity with each other. And then they laid a Black Lives Matter shirt on home plate, which I thought was a really powerful move to do for them. So
yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you 100%. Also in MLB news, 7 doubleheaders. I like it. I do.
Yeah, it's
baseball's
definitely
boring. Like baseball sucks.
Yeah, I mean, go into a ballpark in the summer. I mean, it's the dog days of summer. It's something fun to do. Or go catch a summer night game. It's always been a fun thing to do. But watching it on TV, I have to agree with you. It is definitely not the most entertaining sport to
Yeah.
watch. I think, and if there was a season to implement different things and try new strategies, this would be it. We've seen the extra innings, having a guy start on second base has been really interesting to watch. It's been games are quicker. You don't see some of these games go to like 16, 17 innings. Most of them are wrapped up in 10, 11 innings, which is really nice. So
Yeah, and I remember you compared it to like the college football and how they do their, playoffs in the sense that they start at 25 and then eventually they go for a 2-point conversion. Like that's fun.
yeah,
And MLB, like that was a good rule.
yeah, definitely.
And then, NFL, QB controversy in New England. Cam
Yeah,
Newton, Jared Stidham, who's it
yeah.
going to be?
Cam Newton a few days ago in a press conference said he definitely does not feel like the starter in Foxborough, which I was a little bit surprised because I really thought with Belichick bringing Cam Newton into New England, I thought he was going to be the clear starter, and that Stidham would back him up, and they were going to kind of build the team around Cam Newton in a sense and build that offense because he's such a big dude. He can rush people. The only thing is he's very injury prone. So if he can stay healthy this year, I think New England can have a very successful season. What are your thoughts? Who do you think is going to win
I like
that
Jared
battle?
Stidham. I love Jared Stidham. What a nobody. Like seriously, what a nobody. Just take a nobody and throw him in Bill Belichick's offense. Like what else would that be? Like no other
Yeah,
team would do that. Every other team, including like my Dallas Cowboys, like they go for the names, right? They go for the people that can sell jerseys. But Jared Stidham rocking it, and you're gonna see all the fans rocking Jared Stidham jerseys in the fan. Well, they're not gonna be in the stands this year, but who knows? But they'll be watching on TV. I loved Cam Newton at Carolina. He obviously took them to the Super Bowl. He didn't win the Super Bowl, but he took them there. Just I don't think he has it anymore. Like you said, he's too injury prone. I think he's one injury away from his career being over.
you think so?
I can't see him. I can't see him staying healthy. The dude's gonna need like 2 sets of pads instead of 1, and that's just a shit show waiting to happen. But
And yeah, with I mean, we've seen nobodies from New England come out and be successful before too. So I don't think Jared Stidham. I mean, I don't think he's going to be a complete bust if he does get the starting job. We saw with Deflategate when Brady had his 4-game suspension. We saw Jimmy Garoppolo start a couple games, then Jacoby Brissett, and they both were starters in the league last year. So that just tell you.
On top of that, do you remember? I think it was 2000. Either 2007 or 2008. 2007 they went undefeated. So 2008, Tom Brady got hurt. He was out for the season.
My Chiefs broke his leg.
Yeah, there you go. Something you're proud of. Matt Castle comes in and wins he goes 10-6. Fuck else could he do with the Patriots? Matt Castle. He was the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. I think he threw 5 picks in 2 games.
He was a Chiefs quarterback too, so I know exactly the pain of Matt Castle.
Yeah, so Jared Stidham, and then if he just sucks, you tank for Trevor.
Yeah, I think that's the only strategy. I mean, Trevor Lawrence could be that next Tom Brady who just he could just spend 15, 20 years in Foxborough and change that whole and just continue that organization's complete dominance.
Yeah, but makes me question. Tom Brady was a 6th-round pick. Not Jared Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo was a 2nd-round pick. Would they be idiots enough to Aaron Rodgers? You know what? That's what's going to happen. Aaron Rodgers is going to go to Foxborough.
That's a bold move. I mean, it's not out of the realm. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Yeah, it's definitely not out of the question.
And we're going to talk about it later. It's Messi leaving Barcelona. All Aaron Rodgers needed was a wide receiver or a tight end, some kind of offensive weapon. They don't get that. I'd be pissed. I'd be mad.
Me too.
So Bill Belichick, you know what? He's gonna take off one day. They're gonna be like, Bill Belichick's not coaching this game his heart, and he's gonna be in Green Bay watching Aaron Rodgers just kick everyone's ass.
Yeah, so, it'd definitely be fun to see.
Also in NFL news, we're up to Dan Snyder. Conspiracy theory time? Shall we?
Go for it, yeah.
All right. So Dan Snyder, obviously owner of the Washington football team, not the Redskins. I don't know who that is. Anyways, Jeff Bezos drops a bomb on the Washington Post. He owns the Washington Post. The Washington Post comes out and, all these sexual assault allegations against Snyder. Jeff Bezos coming in as NFL owner. And eliminating the salary cap and then buying every player in the world.
That would be something. I mean, he can afford every player in the world with how much he's worth. But I mean, it's not a crazy conspiracy theory because Amazon, they just opened up two big facilities in New York and in the DC area. So I mean, he could kind of bounce back and forth between the two, and then have his football team be there in Maryland, and then have the Amazon headquarters. I mean, it would be something interesting. But yeah, Dan Snyder, I mean, what a piece of shit. I mean,
Yeah.
even today there was a report that 12 more women are coming forward saying that there was some kind of they're accusing him of sexual assault, which, I mean, he's the most, I think he's the worst owner. I mean, I know he's the worst owner in the NFL, and he should just get the hell out of the NFL.
And then to further my conspiracy theory, because Jeff Bezos is going to buy the team, he's going to tell Michael Vick to come out of retirement, right? This is NFL 2K5. Hear me out, right? He's going to tell Michael Vick to come out of retirement. He's going to be like, here's $1 billion. Go get your body right. And then Michael Vick's going to come back and throw 80 touchdowns and no picks and break all the records.
Michael Vick's like 44 years old.
Hey, that's okay.
I guess Tom Brady.
He'll bring back Jerry Rice and Randy Moss as the receivers too.
I think we're a little out there. I'm okay with the Bezos conspiracy, but man, I think that's pushing it a little bit.
And then other sports news, obviously Messi.
Yeah, Lionel Messi wanting out of Barcelona after they got absolutely destroyed in the Champions League quarterfinal to Bayern Munich 7-2. He basically said right after the game, I'm done. This would be like, I mean, we actually did experience this with LeBron and Tom Brady, like our biggest sports stars in the United States, like wanting to go to different teams. But yeah, Messi, he wanted to leave Barcelona. He's been there his whole career, and the three leading teams are Manchester City, Juventus, and Inter Milan. Who do you think he's going to go to?
I think Man City. Man City, it was reportedly putting out a transfer deal where it was Gabriel Jesus, which is like their first team kind of backup striker, Bernardo Silva, and then one other player who's a central defender plus 100 million. So like, there's no reason for him to go to Juventus. If like you want to go in the Serie A, like there's no competition. I hate to say it. And then
I mean, you would just team up with Cristiano Ronaldo and just be an absolute powerhouse. But yeah. I mean, Messi's on the. I mean, he's on the end of his career. I could definitely see him doing a few years in the Premier League. And I also saw another kind of crazy conspiracy about him ending up at the MLS at his end of his career.
David Beckham. Could you imagine Messi in MLS? Messi would score like 60 goals, maybe 70.
It would be like when Zlatan came to LA, the LA Galaxy, and he was. I mean, these really good European stars, they kind of end their career in the MLS. We've seen that over the years, so I think it'd be fun to see him here come to the States and dominate.
Yeah. So Messi is in a messy breakup with Barcelona. I'm gonna let you get to the golf.
Yeah, weekly golf update. We talked about in the last episode, Phil teeing it up on the Champions Tour. He ended up absolutely destroying all these old guys because he's the new kid on the block, just turning 50, winning by 6 shots. So congrats to Lefty. Good to see him in the winner's circle again. And then this week we got the BMW Championship outside of Chicago at Olympia Fields. It's after one round. It was incredibly tough conditions. Should be a really interesting week. My pick is going to go with a little bit out there. Hasn't won since the Masters last year, but I'm going to go with good old Tiger Woods.
Yeah, you're gonna take Tiger. Interesting.
Yeah.
Hopefully, like his back doesn't just fall apart. But nah, Tiger, if he's right, he's right. But
yeah,
you don't see that as much.
Yeah, he's getting up there in age too. So
he's like 40-something years old.
Yeah.
But like his kid like won a tournament the other week.
Charlie Woods is the next Tiger Woods. He's going to win 37 majors.
Yeah, that's just crazy. All right. Austin Peay, Central Arkansas, college football back this weekend. FCS action. No one cares, but guess what? We're watching.
I saw the game's on ESPN, so the game is on TV.
Oh, that is terrible. Central Arkansas, the only time they're ever going to be on TV. And it's literally because everyone else is shut down because of a pandemic. They are going to be they're going to like have this in their memory for like years. They're going to be like, oh shit, we were on ESPN.
They're on TV by default.
Yeah, they're on TV because ESPN doesn't want to keep talking about LeBron. Also in college football, Big Ten. They said they might have a football season. It might start in like Thanksgiving, but Could they?
Yeah, so a couple other college football notes. Yeah, Big Ten, they're trying to reassess their season, trying to salvage some kind of season. Um, I saw like November, maybe they could start at Christmas time, which would be really interesting. And University of Nebraska, they actually sued the Big Ten yesterday
Oh,
for
I didn't see
every.
that.
Yeah, they sued the Big Ten for everything that's gone down. So and that gives 8 players from the team. They good old those Cornhuskers are not happy.
Here's my thing, right? A couple things, couple notes. All right, if you start the Big Ten in Thanksgiving or December, right? You're looking at just straight snow football, which is awesome. I
Yeah,
100% support that. Like playing in the snow like almost every Saturday or like negative 20 degrees. I think that's a phenomenal idea. Number two is what is the college football playoffs going to entail then? Like, is it going to be like Big Ten just has their own college football playoffs?
yeah. I mean, over half the schools over half the universities are in the Midwest. So in the Midwest in the winter is absolutely brutal. It's cold. It snows a
Yeah, I mean,
lot.
you're in Kansas right now. Like,
Yeah, yeah. It's and then going back to the college football playoff, I saw another thing today that every like college football program that plays may automatically just go to a bowl game because there's so many bowl games now. So
yeah,
like my Kansas Jayhawks who could go like 2-10, 3-9, they may be playing in like the Mobile, Alabama Bowl for all we know.
Kansas fans are living off that 2008 season.
We still are.
Yeah.
We really are. So
That's something else. I mean, it would be so interesting to see like how are bowl games done. Like the Rose Bowl, right? Is Big Ten championships and Pac-12. Well, both of those like they're not playing. So like, are we gonna
yeah.
have like Kansas versus Kansas State or something?
Yeah, who knows? It's kind of all up in the air, and kind of transitioning into our hot take hour on our hot take hour for the episode. My one of we kind of introduced this new segment. We're going to do this on Thursdays, but today's Friday. We had a little technical difficulties yesterday's show, but it will be hot take hour Thursday. Each of us are going to give 3 hot takes each Thursday, just kind of around the sports world, and so yeah, I think I'm gonna transition from what I think we're not going to have a single down of college football played this
That's
in
sad.
2020, except tomorrow, of course,
Except
with
Austin P.
Austin Peay and Central Arkansas. Let's not forget them again.
I
Yeah,
wonder who's gonna. I wonder who's gonna win. What are your predictions for that? We have to talk about predictions.
I think didn't we pick on Monday? I thought we said like
I have no idea. Maybe Austin P. I'm going Austin P.
I like Austin Peay just because of the name. That's
Yeah,
the only reason. Yeah.
like so
Oh,
fast name. Next hot take.
yeah. So next hot take is coming from the NFL. I think both LA teams, so the Chargers and the Rams, will not combine for 10 wins on the season. So the Rams are going to finish dead last in the NFC West and go 4-12. The LA Chargers, they got a new quarterback. The guy, I forget the guy out of Oregon, his name.
Justin
Justin
Herbert.
Herbert. Yeah, Justin Herbert. Uh, I think the new stadium's a curse. I mean, who knows? I think neither of them combined for 10 wins. I think both of them are going to struggle mightily. Uh, so yeah. And then my final hot take is going to be a little baseball. I think that we are going to get an all Chicago World Series, which would be, I think, very, very fun to watch. I've always been a pretty big Cubs fan when I'm not cheering for the horrible Royals, but I think the White Sox have a good roster and a good team this year, and I think the Cubs they're in first place in their division. I think it would be really fun to see the Cubs and White Sox battle out in November.
All right, all right. So I guess I'll be
What about
giving my
you?
MLB. My MLB is that I think we're gonna have an all California World Series, Dodgers versus A's. I think the Dodgers, as much as they choke in the past, I think they could do it this year. I really do. I think Dodgers versus A's. That's my MLB. And then go into, I should just leave it. Second, NFL is, I think I'm going to have to go against your LA teams. I think both Ohioan teams, which means the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals, are going to have more than both LA teams. I think the Browns and the Bengals combine for 12 games. I think Browns go 7-9. I think Bengals go 5-11.
Interesting. I think Burrow. I think he shows a lot of promise. I hate that he went to such a horrible organization in Cincinnati, but I wish nothing but the best to Joe Burrow.
Hey, it could be worse. He could be like Jacksonville or some shit.
I don't know if it could be much worse in Cincinnati, to be honest.
There's definitely worse.
Jacksonville's in Florida, by the water. Cincinnati.
You can play
is in
for the
Ohio.
Washington football team. They don't even have a team name anymore. They're just the Washington football team.
Yeah, that's very true.
Or you could be like Philly, be an Eagles. If you're on the Eagles, like. And then my last hot take is Luka drops 100 combined points over the next 2 games. I think he goes 50 and 50 back to back.
I think that's a little bit out there, but
You
we'll
think that's
see.
a stretch?
Might be. I mean, I could see like maybe 85, 90, but I mean, he would have to go for like 55 and 45, which I don't know if he's going to drop 50 points in either game.
I think that's all he's gonna do. I mean, he has to play defense, so like you might as well like pull up.
But he's going to have. But your Mavs are going to have to win Game 6 in order for him to get to
I
100 and
think
get
we
to
win
Game
game
7.
6. I think we win game 6, lose game 7. Sad, but as a Dallas Cowboy fan, next year.
Yeah,
We have next year.
indeed.
We preach to that. But that's all we got for today. You have any other notes?
Yeah, it's been a fun episode. We wanted to, of course, talk about the Black Lives Matter movement. It was a really serious thing. We thought it would be a good platform to kind of voice our opinions a little bit and kind of give our takes on the matter. But yeah, we on a lighter note too, we just launched on Spotify. So first two episodes are available on Spotify. We're working on Apple Podcasts now to get them on there. All of our Zoom recordings are going to be on YouTube for the videos. So yeah, episode 3 will be on Spotify, YouTube, and we got Apple Podcast. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter at @T_A_G Sports. We post every time we've uploaded an episode. We'll give some hot takes on there. If you guys want to comment on whatever, comment on our YouTube page, comment on our Twitter page. We love to hear and answer your guys' questions.
Yeah, that, and then we're back on Monday.
Yeah, should be
Watch
should be
Austin P tomorrow.
Should be a fun weekend. Got all the sports coming back around. So yeah, should be a fun weekend of sports. And we'll be back for episode 4 on Monday.
All right, perfect. Talk to you later.
Yeah, sounds good. See ya.